Okay, guys, Panzer J back here in Operation Champ. We're at turn number 2, January of 1937. The U.S. and KMT, and already here on turn number 2, we've had some interesting developments. Argentina and Brazil are now at war as part of the Latin America war expansion. So that presents some issues for the United States. So clearly, it wouldn't be a good thing for the U.S. if Argentina was victorious, but Brazil really isn't in a position to be able to win this conflict without support from the U.S., especially since Germany lent Lease a fighter to Argentina this turn. So we have no option but to help out Brazil, which is unfortunate for the United States because we're only collecting right now $6 a turn, and I had plans for that full 6. I wanted to upgrade another medium factory, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to do that this turn. So that was pretty interesting. So let's get into our tech rolls. We are up to 5 tech rolls. We upgraded a medium factory last turn. So the 5 techs we're going to shoot for are the same 4 from last turn, which were jet fighters, long-range aircraft, wartime economy, and improved construction. And the 5th one we're going to go for is heavy bombers. We got to start working on, I think, some of the tech that will give us a victory point in the game. So let's try that one for our 5th tech this turn. So let's go for, we'll start with jet fighters at 8 or higher. And we got an 8, so we succeeded there. Then heavy bombers 9 or higher. Wow, we got a 9, so we hit that, so we're 2 for 2. Then long-range aircraft 7 or higher. A 3, we missed that. Wartime economy 7 or higher. And we got a 7, so we hit that. And finally, improved construction 7 or higher. And we got a 3, so we missed that. But 3 out of 5 is a whole lot better than 1 out of 4. So let's go ahead and put down jet fighters at stage 1, heavy bombers at stage 1, and we'll move wartime economy up to stage 2. So that doesn't look too bad. Kind of disappointed we haven't been hitting improved construction, but what are you going to do? Okay, so the U.S. has $6 to spend. And they're going to lend Lease Brazil an artillery for 4, and they're going to hold on to 2. So obviously, no combat. The Brazilians aren't engaging in any combat either, so we can just do non-combat now. So for the U.S. over here, thanks to Didier pointing out that I had forgot to place my tactical bomber in the initial setup there in the Pacific Northwest, which after I went back and looked a couple things over, I missed a few things. I had this factory up here as a medium instead of it's supposed to be a minor, so I had to replace that. And then I completely forgot to put down the medium factory in the southwest United States. So must have been too tired when I was initially setting the game up. So we got our tactical on the board now, so we're going to move that down 1, 2, down to San Francisco. And that is it for non-combat for the United States. So we are going to go ahead and lend Lease the Brazilians are an artillery. It's going to leave Washington, make its way down here, and land in this major port outside of Rio. So the Brazilians now have an infantry and artillery and a fighter there in Rio de Janeiro. And that is it for non-combat. So the U.S. is still at $6. And they saved 2, so that gives the U.S. $8 next turn to spend. I don't know. I think that Categoric Cow did a recruitment roll for Brazil on the German portion of the turn, but I'm not positive. So I'm going to go ahead and roll for recruitment, and if I hit, then I'll put something down. But if he's already rolled for me, and I can't remember if he did or not, then we can just take that unit off. And if I don't hit, then obviously it's just No harm, no foul. So we own 4 territories as Brazil, so we need a 4 or less, and we got a 9. So regardless whether he rolled or not, no extra units for Brazil. So now on to the KMT. They had $6 to spend, and they're going to purchase 2 cavalry for 3 apiece, so they're spending their full 6. So now over to non-combat, because again, the KMT not going to engage in any conflict. So we're a little bit nervous about the Japanese purchases, those couple of Marines and those couple of SNLFs in Kyushu, plus all those planes he's got in Korea. So we are going to start dispersing some of our units here a little bit. So we're just going to do a little bit of shuffling around. So this infantry in Hunan is going to back off 1 to Kwichao. This infantry in Sichuan is going to come down 1 to Kwichao. This infantry in Shantung is going to move over 1 to Sichuan. And then our stack of infantry in Nanking, 2 are going to back off to Shantung, and 2 are going to back off to Hunan. And that should be it for the KMT. And then Chiang Kai-shek here. Now, this is just a coincidence that he's leaving Nanking. He's not abandoning it by any means. But he's going to go on a military tour of some KMT units, and he's going to start over here in Kwichao. So he's just on a tour to inspect some of the KMT army there in Kwichao. So that should be it for non-combat for the KMT. And then we've got our 2 cavalry, and both of them are going to be placed down in Kwichao. And that should be it for the KMT. So they spent their full 6, and they collect 6, so that's what they'll have next turn. And just a quick recap. So in Nanking, you have 2 infantry and a militia. Shantung, 2 infantry. Hunan, 2 infantry. Sichuan, 3 militia and an infantry. And in Kwichao, 2 cavalry, 2 militia, and 2 infantry. So that should be it for the USA and KMT here on turn number 2. Turning things over now to Categoric Cow to do Germany on turn 3.1.